This is Let's Play Shadow of the Colossus. I'm playing it on the PS3 downloadable version. I turned off the trophies as well as the notifications because that just takes me out of it in these older titles. And I guess, you know, already the game pretty much sets a tone for how it's going to be as our main character. Some faggot on a horse. You think you can make that jump? Barely made it. And then there's a locust swarm that comes up after he jumps. No, but the visuals in this game are, and well, definitely were really impressive. Some of the coolest shit I didn't know you could do with technology when I played this was when I played games like Final Fantasy X and this game and a couple others on the PlayStation 2, which were just really impressive. I mean, this looks really nice right here, like going through a forest. The water doesn't look too great, but I mean, the music as well is just such a big part of the presentation in this whole thing. I mean, it's like with a lot of games, the music, it's just sort of a supplement, or it just complements everything else. But like, there are certain like movies or even other games where the music like reacts to what's happening while you're playing it, and it really makes it a lot more enjoyable. And it's just really grand and dramatic music, because everything you're doing in this game is pretty grand and dramatic. And I've always liked that dramatic type of music. And it gives you this exploratory feel, like he's just discovering this shit. And you know, basically, you're discovering this is the first time you see it, and it's playing this music. And man, I mean, some of the coolest shit that you can do in like cinema or video games, particularly video games, is to just make something ridiculously big, like this bridge here. And I always liked the way it was structured with those arcs and then the support beams, where it just like doesn't look super stable, but sort of pushes you in as you're going across it. And it's like, you know, how the fuck, well, first of all, where the hell is this? And then how does this character know to just, well, I've got to go through these mountains, and then there'll just be this giant bridge that'll lead me to where I need to go. Well, this is, yeah, new game. I don't think I have any data. No. I guess I'll check this. Alright, no one wants to stare at that. That is interesting, though. The back button was a triangle. Oh, fuck these loading screens. Might as well go play a game on my phone. So I guess I also want to, you know, state I'm not going to be making many jokes in this game during the cutscenes, or doing, I'll probably commentate, but in the cutscenes sometimes just lend themselves completely to jokes, and that's when I'll do it anyways. I mean, the game has a really subtle tone at times, and a really dramatic tone, and then a very serious tone. And I don't want to break any like immersion or ruin the atmosphere, but it's just going to happen. So I mean, if you want to experience the game without a jackass talking over it, then play the game yourself. It makes scenes like this. I mean, look at the lighting effect. That's really fucking cool looking. It reminds me of Legend of Zelda, where water reflects, or the water reflects a certain type of light on a wall. And man, what a crazy place. This is where you start the game, in some enormous fucking temple that is not explained at all. I mean, that's just so cool. So many times, you know, American games or just any type of game, they give you all this preface and all this character introduction, and they make you start in a town or a village, and something like a horse is not common for you to start with in a game. And this game, it's just completely different than the beginning of other games. So yeah, the game is visually very pretty, as you can see. It's got these sweeping landscape and architecture shots. I mean, imagine how much fun it was to program this shit into the game. Even he, you know, in this scene seems pretty amused by it. So maybe he hasn't been here before, just knew exactly where it is. And then there's a good look at the androgynous protagonist that we're dealing with. And I'll talk more about that later, as he takes that sack of potatoes. Oh wait, are those feet coming out of the sack of potatoes? It couldn't possibly be an anime girl. So I guess we're going to approach the ancient tanning bed. I mean, it honestly does look like some kind of tanning bed, like the sort of societies where it's ancient but their technology was as sophisticated as ours, if not more. And it just looks like a fucking tanning bed. And she's wrapped in just the most delicate silk. Oh god. It looks like an unfolded map. But thankfully we got that rid of her. It's probably really abrasive. What a serious look for such a ridiculous, you know, take off the fucking headband, you hippie. Okay, so I guess this is Majora's Mask 2, and we're gonna be speaking some Spanish. For those of you who don't know Spanish, I'm sure you can read English. If not, just get the hell out of my video. I can't well talk over this. But they use some interesting words just to create a sort of lore immediately, like using words like ends. So we're trying to revive her, I guess, dabble in a little bit of necromancy, and damn, she's just so pretty. I mean, you know, what the fuck? How important is she to her, to him, to her? Who knows, really? And then that's a weird sight. The sludge monsters. Oh, I guess we know they're bad because the horse doesn't like them. Horses are good judges of character. Pretty interesting clothing. I mean, I like it as well when a game has a character that has clothing that just doesn't resemble any culture in any time period. And I guess our character seems pretty prepared for these monsters as well, which is interesting. Just dissolves them. I command you to dissolve. But was it the light? Who knows? Kind of cool looking sword. Okay, so this also shows, you know, even though this could just, you know, you could just assume that the time period is all medieval. This sword, when he says an ancient sword, it just sort of makes you think dormant. That sounds like dormant, but it just makes you think that all of this shit is ancient. Hold on. That's a cool voice. Very determined, like. He's got such a I'm a hero voice. So noble. It kind of sounds like Link. If Link could talk. It's in Spanish. It makes it seem like it's a church with that scene. Come on. This is the most dialogue-heavy part in the game, so I won't have this problem later on. What a cute name for them. Really tall L's in the font. Really fancy. And then, see, they're showing her, but it's like, I can't believe that the price he pays is going to be her, because obviously he's motivated to save her. So the only other price he has in this game could be him or his horse or his sword or whatever, you know. And then that's a cool shot. I mean, the landscape's sort of barren in this game, but it's just so like widespread. Game mechanic. He looks like such a bitch. It's ridiculous. Okay, and then, you know, this seamless transition. I'll fuck up the camera to make it so it's not artistic in any way. There's a slow pullback. Alright, let's make it a little artistic. Okay. So there she is. I don't remember that. Oh god, okay. So yeah, I'm in control, and already you can see the awkward movement of our character. You know, I say our character because I don't really know what to call him. That doesn't have a name. They call him Wanda, but that's just so gay. I do have to fix something. I want the horizontal different. Damn it. Oh yeah. Let's see how that is. And then I want to invert the other one as well. I don't like it when games start out inverted. That's how it was with that's how it was with Ratchet and Clank, and I got used to it, and then it was like more difficult for other games. So I'm really glad that these games give you that option now. Oh man, I'm not quite used to the controls. It's been a while. So there is some shit that I could do in this temple that would just be showing it off. I think if you just hit triangle, yeah, he'll jump off. And there is no sprinting mechanic as far as I remember. Like, I'm pretty sure this is his fastest run speed, and then he's got this Peter Pan tiptoe. But I mean, you can walk all the way up this thing to the very top, and that's kind of cool. But I was thinking about showing it off, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get to the first part. And you got this weird pool of water that you can go in. Ceremonial uses, I don't know. It just teleports right onto the side. It's like some crazy leech. Alright, I get it. So, I also like, you know, when you're in here, there's just like no music. And they control the camera for you, which, you know, could get annoying, but I mean, the game is all about being cinematic, so it's actually just leads it to be pretty enjoyable. As long as, yeah, it's like sometimes like right there it can be a little bothersome. But you know, this is part of what makes the game great. Like this right here, as I run into a fucking wall, it's just being able to run across this landscape on your uncooperative horse. And then as it breaks your immersion by telling you about the start button. And you just get to going so fast that it seems like, you know, your horse is traveling at a ridiculous rate. Because you cross this plane so fast. But I mean, it's just such a cool thing to be able to you know, ride this horse across the land. And there's not any music yet while you're doing this kind of shit, which it reminds me of a game called Dark Souls. So this is where some ominous music picks up, and I really like this music. It's like, I love this music. It just gets so ominous, but you haven't even really done anything yet. So go ahead and start here. And I don't quite remember everything, but my memory should serve me well. And the platforming in this game is pretty damn fun. It's really enjoyable. I mean, I really like all the mechanics where you can latch on to shit. It's really satisfying. And it's like, it's kind of a short game, but it does its job well. Even this first segment is pretty fun to play. How do you do this? R1 and triangle. That just, I don't know, that's a weird little leap he has. This game is incredibly Japanese in all of its animations and how the character reacts to things. And speaking of the character, I mean, I honestly don't have a problem with the character, because he doesn't have much of a voice after that first cutscene. Just go up, and he sort of straddles this androgynous line where it's like, yeah, he is this gay anime character, but oh fuck, okay, but he manages to not really commit to being really masculine or over the top feminine, and I appreciate it for that. And then, you know, here's the game as well. It's just these giant, colossal beings that just look like they've been alive since the beginning of Earth, or whatever land this is. Okay, oh yeah, I forgot to show off some shit, but it's a little too late. I like approaching this thing. It's just so you can lock onto him, and it just gives you this, like, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I thinking? And this is what I like about the game. It's this scrawny little bitch of a character fighting this monstrosity, this towering, you know, horrible thing you don't think you could ever surmount. And it's like David and Goliath instead of a Thor or Hercules or some badass guy just beating the shit out of everything. Okay. I don't know if he sees me, but I remember the first time, yeah, he sees me. The first time I played this, I don't think our horse can help us, but the first time I played this, I shot an arrow at his back, and he turned around right as I did it, and I'm not quite sure if he did it because I shot him with an arrow, or if it was just his time to turn around. But it was just this really intimidating moment where I shot him with an arrow. Okay, yeah, hold up the sword, I get it. I'm actually having some difficulty doing that. I've forgotten about the controls for that. So is it square is to swing, X is to whistle, and then circle is to use this. So this will show, but I already know what to do here. Go ahead and grab onto his furry hose and give this a quick stab if I can get to it. I don't even have to do it very hard, although I did it more than enough there. Oh yeah, I should stab it more. Okay. Man, these things look really crazy. I like the way they look, the armor they wear, and I like how they're like part furry. Damn, they're like part furry and then part like armored and then part like flesh-like and beastly. You can actually kill him by just attacking his weak spots with arrows and shit. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, there we go. Damn it. This is embarrassing. But once I get this taken care of, I'm just gonna hop right onto the back of his thigh. Okay. So then just let go. Damn it, I don't want to let go yet. Okay. So then I'm gonna jump up here and then make my way over here. So this is another cool thing. Honestly, it's kind of takes you out of it a little bit. Oh, go up, because you have that stamina bar that's constantly depleting if you're holding on too long, and these weird structures on the side of their bodies kind of take you out of it, because you start thinking, you know, well, this is purely designed for me to climb it, but it actually is pretty cool, because I've always thought of it like these things were like trials. These monsters were designed to be conquered, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for a jump. So I can't do that too many times, or else I'll run out. I wonder what it would be like to stand up there. Oh god, I might fall, which would be bad. If I get higher up, then I can... There we go. There, now I'm gonna do a little stronger attack. But I always thought there were these trials, like it was these you're supposed to find some hero that could conquer all these things, and they're supposed to be climbed. You know, they were supposed to be taken down by these mortals who happen to get their hands on an ancient sword. And then this is just, you know, you're just taking these stabs into this guy's brain, and he takes so many shots, and then the black ooze flies out. I guess he was like holding a goblet or something. That was a pretty cool looking mace. And then, you know, just hand comes down, and every time they fall at all, the earth just shatters around it, which is a cool effect. And I'm not quite familiar with it. It happens after he slays this monster, and it's like alluding to how he's being punished, or, you know, something evil is and sinister is tied in with how he's killing these Colossus. Yeah, let me go ahead and save. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and move the camera around more, because you can actually get some cool shots of the giants while you're fighting them, the Colossus, or Colossi, the cute little name they give them. I know it's just a pluralized form, but yeah, you can make some really cool looking scenes of your character doing pretty dramatic shit during the fights, and I didn't quite remember until the very end there. But having control over the camera, and that's a cool scene. It's like, what is that, you know, it's like the devil or some dark god, and then I have control of the camera here. I didn't quite notice that. Yeah, I like having control of the camera during the cutscenes, or at least some of them. And then he just seems like still determined to do whatever he has to do, but obviously just apprehensive of, you know, the circumstances and the I guess the ramifications of him killing all these things. But, you know, he's got his girl he's got to save. Really nice organ there. They all pretty much move slowly. Oh, I've got plenty of courage. My character's chock full of it. Did you guys catch that white butterfly? There's a petal, I don't know. But I guess that'll do it for this. I'm gonna maybe figure out what to call this guy. You run really awkwardly. This is post-commentary now. I'm going to show off a couple things I didn't show off. One thing I want to show off is this area that's right next to the altar. With our babe catching some rays. I like the way, I guess those little puddles just reminds me of like a really lavish palace in like Greece. In Greece. And then I want to get a shot of the entire temple from the outside. And the temple's even bigger than I can really put it in perspective here. But this is the best I can get just running outside and then looking up. It goes a lot higher than it looks here. And it's a pretty cool place, you know, to start the game, as I was mentioning earlier. Oh, also, this cutscene activated as I left to go do something that I'm about to show on screen. And I just decided to quickly record it. There was a problem with the audio in the last recording. Well, actually, the audio was fine. It's just there were frames that were dropped. And I also wanted to show off this, where you shine your sword to decide where you need to go while you're out exploring the plains. And I never really showed that off. I just went right to where the first Colossus is. But there were some frames that dropped, so I spent a lot of fucking time cutting up pieces of audio and putting it into pieces, so hopefully it's salvageable, but I really don't want problems like that to continue, because I don't like post-commentary. But this is something I wanted to show off. Just a little, basically an upgrade. And I like this tree that you get to climb on, and I thought it was cool that you could actually climb on it, because when I first played this game I didn't know you'd be able to interact with the environment as much as the monsters, but you actually get to do a fair bit of exploring. So just someone silence that horse. But I mean, honestly, the aiming and camera work can sometimes be annoying in this game. Like, if you lock onto a Colossus, but your body isn't facing towards it, your bow and arrow will just aim in a complete opposite direction, so you have to get used to it. And that'll give us a little bit more health. It'll give Wanda here a little bit more health. And then there's some, you know, waypoints, some giant light in the sky that wasn't there before. And revisiting this fellow here to show off what I was discussing earlier about shooting him. He actually does turn around prematurely if you shoot him with some arrows. He's like, "What's that prick in my back? Hey, you. You wanna mess with me?" And there's a couple other things I wanted to show off, but I tried to jump and grab the hand there, And I wanted to show off that stomp attack because I don't think I got that. But I did get him smashing down his weapon, and I think that's cool to see as you approach him throwing down that mace-like weapon. And I also wanted to show in that scene just there, you can see a lot of the arrows stuck in his body during the fight, and they stay there, and I think that's a pretty cool touch that they had for all these bosses. And the birds seemed a lot more active when I refought the boss. And then here's showing off you actually can, because I was curious. I wanted to see if you could actually go over here. And I went all the way up and dropped down onto it and proceeded to do absolutely nothing once I got there. And then I figured out, like, I was pretty much just approaching in a pretty stupid way, because I went to the very top and dropped down when you could just see the fur on the right of his arm and just jump to it and grab on. And that's pretty cool how you can pretty much anything that looks like you can climb on in these enemies, you can. So he had a really black elbow, and it seemed like it was a weak spot, like if I could break through to it, it would do a lot of damage. But it just doesn't seem to do much, and just doesn't do pretty much anything at all. Although it does bleed, like you do see the black blood fly out, but I just fall off here because I used up all my stamina just smacking his elbow with my toothpick. But on a second try, this is just honestly at this point I'm just showing off more of the fight because it's pretty brief, and you can do more with it than it seems like you can do. Although I couldn't get him to do any more attacks besides the stomp and smashing down that goblet mace of his. I really like it too. It's nice when you get on his back. You have a lot more ground to stand there at than it actually seems like you do. And I think that's cool when he like lurches back his head and your character's just holding on with one hand. In fact, that's probably some of the coolest shit is when you're this flimsy guy you're using. He's just holding on by one hand. And I wanted to show off more. This is something I was pretty curious, and I just did not expect this at all. But I was taking a look at that pretty thing he's holding in his hand, and I decided, can I actually do anything? And you actually can. You can totally stand on it, and you can't do anything on it, but I think that's pretty cool that you can actually go on it. And I like that a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is. And then here's where the statue was collapsed. So that'll be it for this episode as far as showing off shit.